Hello, mate. How you doing? I'm just gonna do a little post on the other socials that I'm here, and on I'll edit some photos. How do I? Jesus. Good, man. How have you been? Just been working and usual shit. How have you? How about you? I've also just woken up, so brain ain't fully working yet. That's good, dude. What you been up to? Um, sorry. Have we got this selfie? Bosh. I'm live on Twitch. Fuck yeah! I saw you went on like a I don't remember what it was, but it was like there was cars drifting and yeah, looks pretty fucking cool. Right. Brain needs to connect all the connections in my brain. Hopefully this coffee helps with that. And then we'll get going. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Music video stuff. That would have been so fucking cool. Hell yeah. Right. Finish this and then we'll edit some photos. Live on Twitch. Editing some photos. Split. Perhaps some games after. Sure am. Sure am. For the good, better, or worse, yes. Right. Let's have a look at this kitty cat. He looks sad. I think the focus is a little bit wonky. Not wonky, but ooh. Not wonky, but it's not the best focusing job that I've done. I quite like that one actually. Yeah, look how sad that boy is. what I need to get better at is editing a photo from scratch, rather than just putting a preset on and then editing it from there. Yes. So I just doing what I kind of normally like to tweak. That I normally tweak when I add the preset anyway. This one probably doesn't need much. It's probably just a little bit too yellow for me. Bit too yellow. Make it a little bit more orange. Kind of looks a bit nicer. So we're going from that to that. What I did forget to do was copy edit settings, reset edits, export this, because we want to just so we can do like the wipe transition when I make my little videos. Go paste, and it's like we didn't even forget. So we'll do that too. Cool. Ooh. What was I doing on this? Saturation is whack. I think I started editing this one after the stream a little bit, last week's, but I must have been on some crack or some shit, because that did not look nice. How is... Yes. So shadows down a little bit more, quite a lot more. Makes it look way more natural. Still want to bring it up a little bit so you can see the details and whatnot. Maybe let's go back to a little bit of dehaze. I quite like dehaze in my photos. Whether that's probably a good practice or not, I don't know. It is what it is. I like the look of it. How you doing?
Love you too. Bye. Good. How are you?
Good, man.
What do we have?
Yeah, I'm having a black coffee right now.
Yeah. I forgot that I had the last bit yesterday. I was having no food at all for work or anything. This fridge is pissing me off.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard work.
Yeah. back to editing. Can smell something off. I just got a whiff of some shit. Does not smell nice. Let's try fuck with this one. Whoa. I think we just gotta try and no, can't be bothered. My brain ain't computing right now. I did like this one of the dude in the alleyway. This one in particular, I think. I started to already edit it. Okay. Let's copy that. I don't know if what's the word? Don't know if I exported the original. Doesn't look like it. So we'll copy that. Reset the edits. Export it. Paste the edit. And all is good in the world. Yeah. So now we have unedited and edited. Edited. Let's delete that one though. Change the name. I think I want to tweak it a little bit. A little bit more exposure. Bring down the blacks a bit more. Just kind of make to kind of make the light lighter. Yeah, it didn't need much. Didn't need much tweaking, but I'm a little bit happy with that. Maybe a bit too orange now. Now that I say it, I think that looks a lot better. Yeah, let's export that, and then should be able to. It's not doing what I wanted it to, so let's undo. Have a look at the presets. Have a look at the presets. These are just the ones that I have found on the recommended ones that are free that I like using, depending on what.
Do you want anything from the shops here?
No, I'm good, man.
Good.
Yeah, thank you. I kind of fuck with that a little bit, actually. Yeah. All right, let's go start with this, and then we can go from there. Well, actually, what I did want to do is oh, it is, but it's not right. Sorry about that. What I wanted to do was fix the chat. Where does it look the best? Should I put it on the bottom or the side up like that? I think the bottom. Okay. Back to that. What I can do is, I think I want to make the background of the chat on that. The background of the chat, not completely, no, I want to make it a little bit opaque. So, where are we? That one. Where? I don't know what I'm doing. I just don't know what I'm doing. Almost just poured coffee all over my laptop. That would have been fun. Ah, there we go. Background color. If we save that, what does it look like? Shit. So let's not do that. Now it's just a big black box for some reason. Hold on. Delete. If we make that dark. Okay. Save that. Once we get this set up, we won't need to do it ever again. I promise. What I would like is for that to be less opaque. Okay. Let's give that a whirl. Okay, back to regular programming. Did we export this? We did. So what I think we want to do is bring up the shadows. Oh, the shadows are already quite high. So maybe just the overall exposure. Bring down the highlight and the whites a bit. Maybe fuck it, send it with the contrast. Looks alright to me. Send it with the contrast, and then coffee. Oh. Cool. Then maybe a bit of. I quite like the colors that are going there. I like the blues. I like the oranges. I quite often dislike when clarity is high. It kind of adds that a fake sharpness to it that I don't really like. I don't mind the texture being up a little bit. If it's too much, it's like too aggressive in your face. You can kind of like it just adds some weird visual whackness. So Go back up a little bit. Maybe it's already got some dehaze. Might actually get rid of the vignette and like do my own linear gradients of negative exposure to kind of do like a vignette, but we can control how much there is on each of the sides, if that makes sense. So we'll do that. So L on the keyboard makes a linear gradient. Then we can do anything we want to this gradient, which is useful, but down the exposure a bit. Seems counterintuitive, but bringing the shadows back up. Does fuck all. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a boy. Cool. So let's go left. From the left hand side now. A little bit less than the bottom. And I'll probably match it on the right as well. So a little bit less. Just kind of focus, even though you've got leading lines going through the middle. We're able, it kind of forces your eyeballs to the center of the picture. Which for some reason is what we want. Don't know the reasons, but you get that. A little bit more. I think that'll do, donkey. Wow, that'll do. Rightio, let's continue on. I just thought this was a cool thing on some bricks. We need Bricklicker back in. Or Lick Bricks needs to come back in. So we can talk about these bricks. What we do want to do is crop this down. Yeah, I didn't take a good photo of this. And by a good photo, I mean like it wasn't centered, it wasn't horizontal. I still don't really like it. Maybe let's try change aspect ratio. Maybe 16:9 or some shit. Still don't like it. I might just skip this one because I'll export it just for the sake of it. But alas, we'll come back to this later, maybe in a bit. Right, so if you were here last week, I would have alluded to me accidentally going on a climb up a mountain. Go to lens correction and correct the angle. Where is that? That would be Yeah. Optics. Not Lightroom Classic, the other one. Okay. I see. Yeah, we're getting there. Need to make the wall lines straight. I getcha. I've never done this before, but yeah. Looks good. Yeah, that's fair. It's only a relatively new hobby for me, so all the knowledge, more knowledge is better. I didn't know you could do this. I used to stream Legion a decent a while ago, but less so now. Probably still could. I heard that you're streaming MK GT. Oh, not MK. Chopper Base now. Sadly, I won't be there, but yeah, I'll be jumping into the streams for sure. But yes, sad. I'm really sad I won't be able to come. All right, cheers, mate. Have a good day. Sick. You too. Right. Now that we learned how to lens correct, we're learning shit here. Now that we've learned how to lens correct, we can get rid of that. Let's go back to this and see what we can do. Does it need to go the other way? Yes. So now if we do that, make it a little bit bigger. Still doesn't look right in the eyeballs. I think it's because on that right hand side it kind of flicks out to the up, but I think that's as good as we're gonna get, or as good as I'm gonna get. So we'll go from there. Okay, maybe we should edit this one. All right, let's edit it. Edit it. Edit it. Edit it. probably doesn't need much, but kind of let's mainly more about the colors at the back. Ooh, I kind of like the colors on the back, but maybe not as much darkness, if that makes sense. Hey, Lucky, how you doing, mate? You too, man. How's it been? Good to see you. Is everyone still climbing together? I haven't been reading the WhatsApp messages, but yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, of course. Yeah, like, how's that going? Fair enough. It feels like we've all kind of split up a little bit and done our own thing. Um, how far up north? Like Brisbane way or all the way up north in Darwin? It's been really great. 3 to 8 month commitment. Far out. That's crazy. I don't even... in Mackay for another week, then heading south. Hell yeah. So like, how big are the boats? Is it like little lasers or that you're teaching on, or like bigger yachts? Oh fuck yeah, that would be so fucking cool though. Actually, I've, I want to learn on a classic pirate ship. Yeah, I bet. Now that I've edited this, I'm actually quite like this photo now. What I would like is to have less vignette. Just so we can show the colors of the numbers a little bit more, but we will add some linear gradients. Alright, let's fix that. Maybe about there. And do the same from left and right. Yeah, Cara and I are doing good. Still kicking, still basically saving up, traveling whenever we can. Just came back from Croatia, Split, and no, Croatia, Montenegro, Albania, and Bosnia. We just did a 2-week trip. It was really good. Lots of photos. Enjoying living in London. Yeah, it's pretty good, to be fair. Doing the photography is kind of making me explore the cities a little bit more. I like to just wander the cities. Normally when Kara wants to go have a nap or something, I go wander the streets, take photos of stuff. I find getting lost in a city is the best way to see a city, I've found. I have just noticed the chat on the screen, I would like to be white. So I'm just going to change that. Text settings. Yeah, 100%. Just, I guess you can go to all of the classic spots, but like the touristy places, but that's where everyone is getting the same touristy kind of photos. You don't want to take what everyone else is taking. Yeah, like I would get. So what happened here is so I accidentally started to hike up a mountain in Split. I found these stairs and I just kept on climbing, and then it turned into, a literal mountain. That just kept on going higher and higher, and I just decided to power up through. As like a quick teaser, like I was on the ground level, but then, whoa, what was happening? And like, wicked views, absolute wicked views. We will get there. So let's dislike this one because of the person. So let's start with this one. It is quite dark. So we'll need to fix that. Alright, too easy, dude. I'll see you later. Yeah, I'll be back here probably around the same time next week. Take care, enjoy sailing. Right, back to editing this photo. Let's have a look at this one. And things are all over the place. Yo, Louis, what's happening, bud? I don't know what I'm doing with this photo. Let's just reset it. think we should just start from beginning. Let's up the exposure a bit, add a bit of contrast, shadows up a bit. Right. Maybe let's add a bit of an S-curve into this, and then
Hello there.
right. Only a slight one. Bring the highlights and whites down a bit. Kind of bring back some of the detail in the sun. Yo, lick bricks. How's it going? We got more bricks. I'm glad you made it back. I don't know what I'm doing with these ones. Maybe a little bit of vibrance, bit of texture. Right. It's probably not the best photo I've ever taken, but I think that's fine. They don't all need to be bangers. It's impossible to get all bangers. Super high contrast at the moment, but I think that's fine. When did you get your camera? I think we were talking about it last week. So you did, what camera did you get? I think it was the Canon one, wasn't it? Oh, fuck yeah. So I'm guessing you've been out shooting? Yeah, EOS R10. EOS R10. Wicked. What kind of lens did you get with it? Hello, the potent guy on YouTube. How's it going, mate? $18 and $45. Hell yeah. That's all you kind of really need to get started. Yeah, just use the shit out of it. You don't really need anything else unless you want to get into like wildlife photography or something like that. Yeah, like until you kind of fully understand what your lens and camera can kind of do, you don't really need anything else. Don't listen to the gearheads on YouTube. 50 user with a 50mm. Hell yeah.
Hello there.
Very nice indeed, sir. Right, let's export this. Happy with that. And from here on up, we're it is 38 degrees. I'll paint the picture. It's 38 degrees in Split right now. I've just spent an hour walking around the city. I'm sweating my tits off. And I've come to these stairs and I'm like, okay, let's just climb some stairs. So I just keep on going up, and it takes me like an hour to get to the top of this mountain while taking photos of stuff. I quite like this photo actually. You gotta say, you don't really see the point in prime lenses. The good thing about prime lenses are that they have no, I'm not there. I'm back in London right now. The lens, what prime lenses are good at is they're normally very sharp and they're very quick. So normally, like your f-stop, which is one of the like main settings that the f-stop or aperture, they can get to a lower number, which means that they let more light in, so they're better at in lower light situations, and they also can make the background super blurry. Potent guy. This was taken in Split in Croatia. But like the zoom lenses nowadays, they're getting closer and closer to prime lens, the f-stop rating. So like what I shoot on is a Sigma 18-50, which is a f2.8, and like a lot of prime lenses sit around f1.4 ish, which is not that far away. And like you still get to, yeah, you got the zoom of 18.
Hello there.
Which is great. Yeah, man. Right, let's export this so we can do the white transition later. I think we can just slap a preset on this and go from there. Probably the... Yeah, zoom with lower aperture are expensive. True that. It depends if you've got full frame or APS-C as well. Yeah. Like I upgraded the kit lens from that to yeah, I think the kit lens was I don't even remember what it was. What was it? Sorry. Yeah, it was a 16-50 with a 3.5 to 5.6 aperture, which basically meant like the more you zoomed in, the higher the aperture could be. But like, yeah, this lens is so small for what it does. It's so good. It's all I really need to do what I need to do. Yeah, it's wicked. Right, I'm getting distracted. Let's keep editing photos. Because what I do want to do is finish editing these photos and I want to play some games. I'm using the games as like my goal. My driving force, I guess you could say. I think we just need to edit from beginning. Cool. I fucking dislike that song. Potent guy, what's what? What are you talking about? Alright, let's up the contrast, up the shadows, maybe the blacks too. Make the exposure right, down the highlights a bit. Little increase of the temperature, because that's what it kind of felt like when we were there. Oh, what's that? The camera lens. So it's Sony A6600. Yeah, it's an APS-C, so not a full frame, but it's good for traveling and keeping small. And the lens is the Sigma 18 to 50 2.8. Yeah, Sigma 18 to 50 2.8. Why has YouTube stopped? Anyway, okay. Back to this. Yeah, so we've increased the temperature, which kind of brings out the yellows and that kind of stuff into the pictures. Bit of vibrance. I think just like a generic vignette will be alright in this. Yeah. I don't want to go too crazy with the editing. It doesn't glitch, but it's all good now. Okay, cool. Don't know what happened there. Internet must have shit itself for a bit. That's fine. As long as it's okay now. What happens if we add some dehaze? Kind of adds some, makes it looks like it gives a bit more contrast, which I quite like. Yeah, let's do that. So highlights are a bit blown out here. Highlights are a bit harder to deal with, so it's always a little bit better to I've found to shoot like 1 to 2 stops down, because it's hard. I found it's harder to bring back highlights back down to normal rather than bringing shadows back up. At least you can work with shadows looking like shadows a bit, but like what am I trying to say? Shadows that look like shadows in real life, you can kind of gather that in photos. It's like this black bush here. It's not really black, it's green, but it looks fine because it's in the shadows. Whereas things that are overexposed, it's harder for your brain. It just doesn't look as nice. It's basically what I'm trying to say. Thanks for the follow, Zazie. Appreciate you. I need to set my alerts up so that they pop up on the screen. Did that happen? Or I need to make it so that I can hear it when it goes off. I don't know why it's not doing that. Anyway. Okay, good. I'm glad it came up. I need to make it so I can hear it when it goes into my, so I can hear it, so I don't need to look at it when it came up. I'll figure that out off stream. I think. Right. What were we doing? I like the framing of this one a little bit better. It's a little bit more towards the center. It's like, yes, I can bring the shadows all the way up there, but it just looks way too fake. So, bring down the whites. Oh god. The whites a bit. There's a bit of natural vignetting happening. Not, I say natural, but vignetting from the camera. You can kind of see up there. Bit of dehaze kind of brings a bit of the texture back in the mountains in the background. It's quite nice, actually. I want to keep the blue skies blue. That is kind of annoying me. Whatchamacallit, the vignetting of the actual, like, in-camera vignetting did not mean for that to happen. Could have been my finger. I think we'll leave that one like that. It's not super amazing, but you get that on the big jobs, some might say. Alright, these ones, it kind of looks like there's too much going on for your brain to realize what is happening. At least that's what I'm struggling at the moment with. I say struggling, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I don't know what the focus of it is. Like, it's just a picture of some houses. Can't be asked. I did find this funny when I took it. Those are my legs. Those are my legs. Yo. What's happening, brother? I'm sorry I couldn't come to coffee this morning. Yeah, I had an electrician in, and apparently all of our downlights in the kitchen need replacing. Ah, fair enough. How was it? Did you get a matcha? Yeah, it does suck. Well, not really, but like, we don't have to pay for it. I think. But apparently they don't have like a fire system thingy attached to it. So, yeah, I don't know. Right, let's Let's export that. Got a peach, matcha, and a latte. Damn, boy. You must be buzzing. And a bagel. Did you get a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel? What kind of bagel? I know what exposure does. Leave me alone. Hello, Jack. I am pretty good. Pretty good, sir. How is you? What time is it back home? Yeah. Is it like 10 p.m.-ish, I think? Just gone 9. Okay. So, yeah, it's just hit midday here. So, yeah, that kind of makes sense. We're editing photos from Split still. So, Croatia. Yeah, so it's 12:09. Got a bacon, chive, and cream cheese. Damn, that sounds like a good bagel. I haven't eaten anything today, so I should probably get on that. But yes, we are still editing photos from Croatia. I want to smash through it so I can play some games in a bit. Add a bit of saturation. I kind of fuck with that. What games on the menu? Maybe some Borderlands 2, some Splitgate, maybe some Rivals, maybe some Skyrim. Actually, I've never actually finished Skyrim. Finished the main story of Skyrim, so I feel like I should do that. I feel like I should do that before Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. I feel like that's a good idea. Take some screenshots in game. That's a pretty good idea, to be fair. We could do that. We absolutely could do that. I'm gonna write that down actually. Yeah. How much is your next idea gonna be? Doubles every idea, so what's double of free? You pay me? Okay. We can deal with that. I think I'll call that one there. Did I export this one already? Doesn't matter. Cool. So at the moment, we are up that mountain I alluded to last week. We've started climbing. It's 38-ish degrees, sweating my tits off. GoPro was my brain just stopped working. Anyway, it was hot. But new Tyler out is incredible. Alright, I'll have a listen to it once finished stream. Yeah, Croatia is nice. So pretty. So, out of these three, I think I like that one the best. So let's... I don't think I need to crop it. I think I did a pretty good job of making sure the horizon was flat. So I've just done the auto alignment twice and it's given me two different things. So if we... What I'm looking at is the level of the water is kind of like a good situation of how to make your horizon levels equal or level. Like if your horizon levels are not equal and they're kind of like, this is exaggerated, but if they're like that, you can tell that it's just not a good picture. Yeah, if bang on, if not pretty fucking close. It helps if you focus on that kind of shit in camera, so you don't have to worry about it when you're fucking around on Lightroom. Yeah, you can tell very quickly if something is not right, even if you don't exactly know what you're looking at. Like if you don't know how to edit photos or whatnot, most people can notice that type of stuff, and it just looks a bit weird. Yeah, not a fan. I kind of like the colors of that one, so let's start with that. This probably doesn't need much. Bit of texture. Right, so here's the thing. So I want dehaze because basically it brings a little bit of texture back into the mountains, but it fucks with the sky. So this is a good moment for a mask. Nope, that's a preset. Mask. What we might be able to do is potentially use object. See how well it does. If not, it's done pretty fucking good. So what we can do now is go back down there, do a little bit of dehaze. Don't want to do it too much, otherwise it sticks out like a sore thumb. Let's do a little like that. Go back into the overallness. Cool. I think I want to up the exposure a little bit, brighten everything up. Brighten everything up. Cool. What you can do now is add a bit of contrast in. Take the shadows back down a bit. Yeah, water looks a lot better now. It was just a bit too dark. Overall darkness was a bit too much. Yes. Now, what I want to keep that water looking bright, but these trees are looking a bit funny, so we can do another mask. Let's see how it does. Add another one. I really should just use a brush, but lazy. Fuck it. Alright, we'll add a brush. Doesn't need to be exact. Cool. So bring down the shadows of that. Maybe blacks it a little bit. Kind of makes it look a little bit more like the foreground rather than it sticking out. Yeah, much happy with that. Yes, happy as Larry. Okay. We're getting there. I just want to play games. That's what I want to do. You know what? Okay. If we get to... let's say... either... we've been going for an hour. Let's do half an hour more of photo editing, and then we'll play some games. Before, after, still broke. Oh, no, it fixed itself, actually. So that's a before. That's after. It's not a huge amount of difference, but like it just kind of it's touched up bits and pieces of it. They're kind of the same shit. It does. It definitely pops more. It's kind of the same thing. I thought this was quite funny. Right. There was like a restaurant up here. Everyone was surrounding like this particular area. A girlfriend was not my girlfriend. A girl the girl was taking a photo, and then the boy got told to take a photo of her taking a photo. So then I took a photo of the boyfriend taking a photo of the girlfriend taking a photo of Split. Inception shit. I just thought it was quite funny. Photoception. I don't need to put as much effort into this because it's just a little bit memey, but gotta find the photo of me. Yeah, I guess there's someone behind me taking a photo as well. Alright, we can work with this. Saturation comes back down a bit. Makes it a whole lot nicer. Cool. Happy with that. Export. I don't know if I did not export the original. I found a good way to deal with this now. So if I just copy the edit settings, I can reset the edit, export it, paste the edit back onto it, and it's like nothing ever happened again. Or I did it in the right order. The world is at peace again, except it's not. Nice big cruise ships. It's just kind of nothing photos. I do like this one actually. So, even though, yeah, just a few moments of brick shitting sideways, but you get that. Like, as long as it copies the edit settings properly, which it's never failed me. Yeah, it's never failed me, so why should I be scared of it if it's never failed me? Okay, so even though probably in camera, because normally in camera it has a leveler that it shows you. Even though this is probably level, it looks like it's off the piss a bit. Like, mainly this city line here kind of makes it look like that it's not level. Probably doesn't need much, but natural. Like, yes, those buildings are a bit taller, but like that looks a little bit better to the eye than what it was originally. Let's see what happens if I just paste the settings. Ugh. Don't like that. Let's have a look at recommended. see if we can find a new favorite. That looks kind of cool. That kind of has like a filmy kind of look to it, which is quite nice. I like that. Save to your presets. That'll do. So now I should be able to. Where are we? Yeah, it's this one. Contraste by Georges Mathius. Kind of gives us a good base level. Like it's a basically what I use the presets for is basic color, a little bit of a basic color grade. Because I'm not that good at it yet. Let's bring those shadows back down. Contrast up. A little bit more general exposure. We don't need to fuck with that. I think I'm actually kind of happy with that. Okay. Have a go at this cat. Just, he was sitting by the restaurant that I was, where I took the photo of the photo of the photo. It would have been. There should be a setting. We should be able to know. 5:17 p.m. I thought this was pretty cool. Basically, it's like an action shot of a cat wall running up a wall. So, what we can do... Why is that blurry as all hell? What we can do is... Let's get a basic edit of this one, and we should be able to paste that edit onto the rest of them, and then export them all at the same time. So let's export them. It'll probably take a bit. I'm not going to do anything while it does that, otherwise it might explode. We might explode. Okay, so let's go to one that is kind of like midway between like lightness and darkness. Basically what we want to do is just bring out some of the colors. start with that. I think. Let's just go with that. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Add a bit of texture. I've got a bit of dehaze already. Up the temperature a little bit. Just gives that summery-esque type vibe. Lower the shadows a little bit. Whites can go back down. I think I'm happy with that. So, if we copy those settings, go down here, shift, click, paste settings. And then wait for the paste to happen, and then we'll export them, and then we'll have a look at how it looks going. Capiche? I do need some food. Food would be lovely. I've got some grapes. When I left, he was here. I've come back and have been turned into a muck. Also, do you like my mic stand? It's just a clamp. Right. Alright, what were we doing? We were looking at these cat photos. So this cat was doing hardcore parkour. Going boop. Come on, computer. Oh, I won't do it because it's doing the original. Bricks -4 out of 10. They are natural bricks, I guess. You can kind of see what we're going on. That'll be a video in on itself, I think. So, I really quite like this photo, but when I was looking at it in camera, it looked a lot nicer than what it does now. So let's add, we will need to increase shadows quite a bit and or exposure, probably a bit of both. Increasing shadows makes less shadow. Yes. So increasing the shadows makes the shadows lighter. That's kind of what I mean. And decreasing the shadows makes them darker. If that makes sense. Now that you say it, increasing the shadows should mean making them darker, making them more shadow-like. I get where that little bit of confusion is from. I don't really know what I'm doing. Ooh. Just a little bit of temperature increase made that pop so much more. Okay, 10 more minutes. And then I think I want to play some Skyrim. Yeah, sadly this one doesn't have any bricks in it, but still pretty good. Thanks, man. Yeah. Happy with that. Did I export the original? I did not. Copy. Reset. Ooh. Paste. No. Do. Export. Jesus Christ. Jack, you're right. I am shooting bricks. Right. So, ooh, I really like the framing of this one. Once again, we'll need to up the exposure quite a bit, but export the original. I like this one basically because it framed the foreground of the trees and the bushes and the foliage. Kind of frames where you're kind of wanting to be looking. Let's copy that and paste it there. Yeah, I really like this shot. Up the exposure. Thanks, man. I'm yeah, a little bit of orange. You can kind of see a little bit of the city over there. I think I would like a little bit of green to show. So maybe a bit like... maybe a bit like that. Yeah. I think I'm going to get this one printed. Put up on the wall. I really like this. What are we thinking? Do we like this? Like, I think we all like this one for sure. Yeah, the wall of sexy. I think this is my favorite photo that I've taken so far. That one's in Edinburgh. Here, we can even do this. We're moving. Yeah, this is my favorite one that I've taken so far. In Edinburgh, it hailed 2 minutes before I took this photo. Big fan of it. It was just a giant puddle. Brilliant. Jesus Christ, what have I done? Okay. Did I export this after all that? Don't know. I did not. These grapes are so really fucking good. So, when did I take this? This is at 5:30. They're not green grapes though. I think the red grapes are better than green grapes. Just quietly. Green grapes are still good, but Rahish on YouTube is saying that R50 with the 50mm is the best. Look, it's probably a wicked combo. Gets the job done. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know that much about Canon, mainly just because I shoot Sony. Sue me. Don't actually sue me, please. Right. This, out of these two, I think I like that one the best. What we might do, it's because we're lazy, is copy, paste. That's pretty fucking cool, actually. Sunset rolling in. Okay. Undo. Or export the original. Paste. Kind of tweak it from here. You can, oh, I really like how the sun is on the hitting those branches. Yes, big fan of this one too, actually. Yeah. That'll do, don't care. That'll do. That's kind of like a nothing photo. It's a bit boring. Can't be bothered editing it. So these are more stairs. So I've spent like half an hour-ish now walking upstairs. And then I see this going all the way up. Meanwhile, I was also on a time limit, actually, because I was going to meet the missus for dinner at, I think it was 7. So I was storming up this mountain in 38-degree heat, sweating. It was so sweaty. Right. Out of the two, first one's better. Don't think we need to crop it. Maybe a little bit. Just like that. It's only a bee's dick amount, but it makes my brain happy when I see things in line. So yeah, make sure to crop first, then export, then edit. I should really just have a sticky note in front of me, just right there, and just be like, export, do that shit. Can't cope in 28-degree heat. It's fine. It's just hot. Once it kind of gets past 30, it's all the same. Look, that's not what it looks like in real life, but that looks cool. So does that. I think I like this one better. Yeah, let's do this. Even though it's not what super real life is, but who cares? We leave it barely gets to 30 anyway. Yeah, fair enough. Where is that, by the way? I don't think I asked that before. Where y'all from? New Zealand? Hell yeah. It doesn't get that hot in New Zealand, I guess, does it? It does in Australia. Right, so I think highlights are going all the way down. because I dislike the super brightness hitting the leaves. So maybe sitting about there. It's 5? Damn. I think here it's about 21 in London. We're chilling. Not chilling. We're also not hot. Hotting? Cool. So happy with this photo. Export that. Look, we're almost at the end. So kind of not really. So this is a little butterfly. What I do want to do is crop in quite a lot. So we pushing our sensor to the max. Look at him or her. Tell that it's a big crop. I think I like that. So we'll do that. Export. And then basically what I'm envisioning is this something similar to that. How big of a crop and still get that quality? Yeah, I know, right? And because I have an APS-C, which is basically a smaller frame. It got less megapixels, which my brain is not working. Like there's, I think, a while, not too long ago, like in photography real world, in the photography TikToks and reels, people were going off about the Hasselblad with like the 400 megapixel thing, and like just the insane quality that can do with a giant crop is insane. Obviously can't, it's less so with my one, but can still do it to an extent. Like it's definitely not the sharpest anymore. I think so. I think it's 400. It costs like $1 bajillion though. Yeah, Hasselblad. Yeah, let's Google this. Yeah, have a go at this thing. It costs £7,000, £7,000. Yeah, 400 megapixel. I don't even know how much megapixels mine is actually. Yeah, so my one is 25. 24.2. Close enough. Yeah. Yeah, but 400 megapixels? Jesus Christ. You could... That's insane. Like, you can see on this photo here that, it, like, the sharpness is not there. But... like... yeah, like, some of the textures are a little bit off. Right. None of these presets are tickling my fancy. Yeah, the file size would be ginormous. What I would like is to bring a little bit of not clarity, but like texture back into the butterfly. So we will end up doing a mask. Let's just click the subject and hopefully it picks it up. Kind of. Yeah, nah, we're struggling a bit with this. So I can't do exactly what I want to do, but it's fine. This is not one that I'm going to be printing out. It's just for me. Let's increase the temperature a little bit. I like the orangeness. The oranginess. Orange. Cool. I think that would do. Okay. Let's get to the top of the mountain, which I think we are. Once I was at the top, I didn't actually like that much of the photos that I took. It was just a bit boring. There was a Croatian flag, which was quite nice. If we crop in maybe to like there, would have been better if the flag was being a flag. It was dead. There was no wind whatsoever. Yeah. None of these are super inspiring me to edit them, so I think we might just... There's another butterfly. Might just go play Skyrim. Thoughts, comments, concerns? Right, let's... Skyrim? Big yes. Okay. 'Cause I need to finish the story of Skyrim, and I've never done that before. What am I doing? While I get that set up... Skyrim. like either Skyrim or maybe some Marvel Rivals or something like that. But I have the itch to play some Skyrim right now. How far through are you? Not very at all. I was just going to make a new character. Like I've played it a bunch on my Xbox 360, and I played it again on the Xbox One, and I got an edition for it on the computer because it was cheap. I played it once, kind of gave up, but I think I'm determined to. Ready? Watch this. Okay. While I set that up, get a widescreen view of me. Nice Millennium Falcon. Thank you. I got it for Christmas from the Mrs. family. I would bring it up and over, but I got lots of other weird knickknacks sitting over there. So, if to that. Oh, yes. You know what we're doing. Okay. Should change. What a fucking banger of a song. I think I'm gonna put Skyrim. Can you guys hear the Skyrim audio? But it is a little bit louder than me. Okay. We can fix that. got into the Oblivion remake and sunk 35 hours into it just doing side quests, and then when you got into the main quest, everything was too strong for you? How does that work? Enemy scale with your level? No way. That's a bit. That's crazy. What will? Yeah, the iconic scene. Who are you? We need to figure out what kind of character we're going to be, actually.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Hello, sir.
You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush. Same as us. And that thief over there.
Damn you Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along. Empire was nice and lazy.
What? Is the settings kind of alright? I don't think it's saying that there's some buffering issues, but we'll see how we go.
If they hadn't been looking for you, could have stolen that horse and been halfway to Hammerfell. You there, you and me, we shouldn't be here. It's these Stormcloaks the Empire wants.
We're all brothers and sisters in binds now, thief.
Shut up back there.
What's wrong with him, huh?
Watch your tongue. You're speaking to Ulfric Stormcloak.
The true High King. What kind of build should we make? I don't
The Jarl
like.
of Windhelm?
We should.
You're the leader of the rebellion.
My brain always wants to do like a stealth sniper,
Oh God, where are they taking us?
but everyone does a
Know
stealth
where
sniper,
we're
right?
going. But Sovngarde awaits.
No, this can't be happening. This isn't happening.
Hey, what village are you from, horse thief?
Why do you care?
A Nord's last thoughts.
Should be of home.
Rorikstead. I'm from Rorikstead.
General Tullius, sir. The headsman is waiting.
Pure destruction magic.
Get this over with.
It could be fun.
Sure.
Be like proper wizard,
Kinneret,
Gandalf style.
Divines, please help me.
Look at him.
I am curious as to know how well playing
And it looks like the Dalmor are with him. Damn elves.
playing
But
games
they had something to
looks
do with
on
this.
stream. So let me know. I might be able to tweak settings somewhere. It's depending. Two-handed orc, also a good shout.
This
Whenever I
is
play
elegant.
D&D, I
Used
always
to be
favoured an
sweet on
orc.
the curve from here. Wonder if Vilod is still making that mead with juniper berries mixed in. Funny, when I was a boy, imperial walls and towers used to make me feel so safe.
What we might do actually is... Where are we? Nope. I don't want the terms of surface. Lower... We should... Depth. Got that slight Skyrim jitter, but that's no one's fault. Cool. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. We'll figure it out in a bit. We'll see how we go once we actually start playing.
Go inside.
Why? I want to watch the soldiers.
Inside the house. Now.
Does that guy get eaten
Yes, Papa.
by the
Out of the carts. Move it.
or not eaten,
Why are we stopping?
just dragons
Why do
everywhere.
you think? End of the line.
Down to die, motherfucker.
Let's go. Shouldn't keep the gods waiting for us.
No, wait! We're not rebels!
Face your death with some courage.
You've got to tell them
God.
we worked with you! This is a mistake!
That's what.
Step towards the block when we call you. One at a time.
That grade kind of hurt me a little bit.
Empire loves their damn lists.
I think I'll just.
Stormcloak, Jarl of Windhelm.
It has been an honor, Jarl of Oak.
Save some of my
Ralof of Riverwood.